screen. Let me know everybody if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. So yesterday, what are the 4 components that we have discussed?
VUGen, controller,
Load control, analysis,
Load generator.
load generator.
Virtual user generator, controller, load generator, which is famously known as LG, and the last one is analysis. Okay, and over here the VUGen is famously known as the virtual user generator is famously known as VUGen. Okay, now guys, what is the first component? What is this particular component going to do? The name is a little bit confusing. Virtual user generator means it would not generate the virtual users, guys. What this particular component would do is it would actually generate the scripts. What would it do? It would generate the scripts.
Hi, Shyam.
Hey, Vasavi.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but your voice is a bit slow. Could you please increase your voice?
Is it the same for everyone or is it only for Vasavi?
It is audible, Shyam, but it is little low compared to yesterday's session.
All right. Is this better now?
Yes, it is. We are able
Okay.
to hear you, but little low.
It's a little bit low.
Can you please increase your the sound of your system, because if I keep shouting for 1 hour, think about what would happen by the end of
I
the day.
understood, but it is completely high, but we are able to hear you. It is not like we
Yeah.
are unable to hear you, but it is little low. That's it. Please carry
Okay.
on.
Yeah. Please let me know if it is really bad. I will try to increase my voice. Okay. Yeah. So this virtual user generator, what it would do is it would actually try to generate the scripts, and these scripts, when you modify them, or when you what would you say, when you customize them in the right way, will act as a virtual user. What do you mean by a virtual user, guys? Before we go ahead, can you tell me what do you mean by virtual user? Yes, guys. As I told, this particular session would actually be very interactive. Okay, it will not be like me talking and you listening. All of you guys have to participate. Okay, and guys, please put your videos on. I would like to see your faces. I would like to see who all are listening and who all are away from your desk. Please put your videos on. Yes, guys. Yeah, tell me, what do you mean by virtual user?
Is a computer generator user.
It is not a real-time user, but it is a user that is generated by code, right? A little bit correct version of saying that. Okay. It is a user that is generated by code. What does that mean? See, a real user, when I actually log into something, let's say, I'm actually trying to log into my, Gmail, then what would happen? I would actually open the Gmail homepage. I would actually enter my user credentials. I would then go into, my emails and all this particular flow, right? So what we would do is we would actually try to generate a computer code which would actually do the same actions. All right, we would actually try to generate a computer code which would do the same actions, and that computer code doing the same actions, that is called as a virtual user. Is that clear? Yes, guys. Okay.
Sir.
So we are actually generating a computer code which would actually do this particular same actions as a real-time user, and that would create just I believe I let Rajesh in, right? Okay. Okay. So that is what we would actually try to do. Okay. Yeah. So that is a virtual user. Okay. Now this particular VUGen would actually generate that particular computer code, the script, which would actually help you generate this particular virtual user. Is that clear, guys? Yes, guys.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. So please don't get afraid saying that okay we are talking about computer code script and all these things. It is very very easy, guys. The VUGen would automatically generate the script. There is nothing that you have to do manually. All right, the VUGen would actually generate the script, but then in order to customize the script, see, if the VUGen generate the script and if you are actually able to run the script as it is, and if you are able to get that particular test done, then what is the fun in that, right? Every Tom, Dick and Harry can do that, isn't it? Even 10th class pass guys also will be able to do that, right or wrong? There has to be some complexity, guys. కొంచెం complexity ఉండాలి, but it should not be so complex that we'll not be able to handle it, right? See, if we are if it is very very easy, everybody would be able to do it. If it is very very complex, that only the developers and all those guys would be able to do it, then it will be very very difficult for us to learn. So what is it that we are actually what is the benefit of this particular load runner? This is a low coding or no coding tool. Okay, very very less coding would be involved. So the VUGen would automatically generate your script. Don't worry about it. When you are you can actually record the script. The VUGen would automatically generate the script, and then you would have to do a little customization to that. Okay, so only a little coding would be involved, very very little, which you can learn very easily. Okay, it is very very easy to learn that particular coding. All right, now once you have generated that particular script, what you would do is you would feed that particular script. How would you generate that particular script? Just like how you have actually used the real time how the real time user accesses the application, the same steps you would actually try to simulate when you are actually trying to generate the script. Okay, so for example, if I'm trying to test the Gmail application, what are the steps that I would follow?
Launch the application.
Access the Gmail, login, go to the mails, open some mail, compose a mail, send the mail, log off, something like that, right? Or let's say I'm trying to access a flight booking application. Okay, make my trip. Then what is the kind of flow that I would go with? Access
Index
makeMyTrip.com,
page,
Access the page and
login,
login.
login,
book the ticket,
book the ticket,
s- pay the payment,
do the payment, download the ticket, and log off, right? And there could be another scenario wherein I would actually be able to access the home page, search for the flights without login, search for the flights, select a flight, make the payment, and log off. No login involved over there. Okay, there can be another scenario wherein I would actually try to access the page, search for the flight, and then search for the hotel, and then search for a cab, select all three, make the payment, and log off. Like this, there are several different scenarios for Make My Trip, isn't it? Yes, guys, right or wrong?
sir.
Yes.
For
Yes,
example, if you
sir.
take a banking application, okay, let's say I have a ICICI Bank. Now, if I go to the icicibank.com, what are the different scenarios that would be there? Access the homepage, login, check my account balance, make a transfer. Okay, all of you make a transfer to me, please. All right, make a transfer and then log off, right? And another scenario could be access the home page, then no login. Go to the credit cards tab and then
Pay the bill.
search for a credit card, apply for the credit card, enter all the details, log off. As somebody was saying, I did not observe who was saying, but as somebody was saying, access the home page, login, go to the credit cards page, and select the credit card, and pay the bill, log off. Like this, there can be several different scenarios for each of the application, right? For if you take icicibank.com, hdfcbank.com in the banking, or in the if you are actually trying to look at the travel applications, makemytrip.com, yatra.com, these kind of travel applications, any kind of application you take, you would actually be able to find that there are several different scenarios that the end users of the application would actually be able to access, isn't it? Yes, guys. మనం రియల్ టైమ్ యూజర్స్
Yes,
అయితే
sir.
మనం ఆ అప్లికేషన్ ని డిఫరెంట్ వేస్ లో హ్యాండిల్ చేస్తాం, రైట్? బట్ గైస్, మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద టైమ్స్ వాట్ వుడ్ హ్యాపన్, ఆల్ ద యూజర్స్, the application is built for something, right? All the users would actually usually go through a particular flow, right? All the users would actually go through a particular flow. దాన్ని navigation flow అంటాం. Okay, so what we would do is we would try to find out what are the navigation flows that are mostly used by the end users. Maximum users ఏ navigation flows అయితే యూస్ చేస్తారో ఆ navigation flows ని మనం ఐడెంటిఫై చేయడానికి ట్రై చేస్తాం. Okay, and those navigation flows we would actually try to create the scripts on using this particular VUGen. Is that clear, guys? Yes, guys. See, for example, if
Sir.
I'm the admin of ICICI Bank, okay, so I'm the admin of ICICI Bank. End of the day, మొత్తం డే అంతా అయిపోయిన తర్వాత నైట్ అరౌండ్ 11 o'clock, I want to generate a report on how many credit card transactions have happened, how many credit card bill payments have happened. ఎంతమంది అలాంటి రిపోర్ట్ జనరేట్ చేస్తారు? గైస్, how many of you are don't know Telugu? Can you please speak up?
Sir, I don't know Telugu.
Pooja, okay. Anybody
Yeah.
else? Okay, only one person. So Pooja, don't feel bad. I'm telling first in English, and only
Okay.
that I'm repeating in Telugu.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not
Okay.
telling anything extra in Telugu. All right.
Okay.
So a lot of people would feel comfortable when I speak in Telugu, right? So that is why I'm actually also trying to speak in Telugu. Okay, but don't think that
Okay.
I'm telling something extra. There is nothing extra that I'm telling in Telugu. I'm just repeating whatever that I'm telling in English. I'm just repeating that in Telugu. That's it. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. So how many people would actually try to generate this kind of report? Yes, guys. ఎంతమంది ఉంటారు అట్లా రిపోర్ట్ జనరేట్ చేసేవాళ్ళు? ఎస్ గైస్, మొత్తం ఐసిఐసిఐ బ్యాంక్లో ప్రాబ్లీ ఒకళ్ళు ఇద్దరు అడ్మిన్స్ ఉంటారు. ఇన్ ద హోల్ ఐసిఐసిఐ బ్యాంక్ దెర్ విల్ బి ఓన్లీ 1 or 2 admins like that who would try to generate the reports for the higher management, isn't it? Yes, guys. Guys, is everybody with me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so but that person also has a particular navigation flow, but do we need to test that particular navigation flow? There is only one person who is actually using that, and that too he would only use it one time. Do we need to do the scripting for that particular flow?
No need.
Not needed. Okay, so we would actually try to identify what are the flows which are mostly used by the end users of the application. Okay, and we would actually try to do the scripting for those particular flows. Is that clear, guys? Yes, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So maximum users and ఎవరైతే ఏ ఫ్లోస్ అయితే యూస్ చేస్తారో ఆ ఫ్లోస్ ని ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తాం. ఆ ఫ్లోస్ ని ఐడెంటిఫై చేసి we will actually try to do the scripting for that. Okay. Now who would identify these flows? ఎవరు ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తారు ఈ ఫ్లోస్ అన్ని? That these are the flows that have to be done, that have to be scripted for.
Analysis guys, business analyst or product owner.
Usually the product managers, your the performance test managers, the business analysts, those guys would actually do the analysis. Those guys would actually try to understand what the application is all about, and those guys would actually do this particular identification of the navigation flows which have to be scripted for. Okay, you don't need to worry about that. But this, why am I talking about all this when if you are not involved? We can only discuss about what is the work that we daily do, and we can ignore about what others do, right? Why am I talking about all that? Because you have to understand this particular basics, and this, very importantly, these are the kind of questions that they would ask in the interviews. Okay, how would you identify the navigation flows that have to be scripted? Very simple question, right? Now if you say that my manager will identify that the navigation flows and give it to me, that means you are not interested in growing up. You have just done some basic scripting and that's it. You don't know about anything else. You are not interested in learning what how to grow, isn't it? Yes, guys. You also have to understand what your superiors are doing. If you don't know how to do that, that is fine, but you have to understand what they are doing. Okay, in order to clear the interviews, you would actually have to understand all the basic concepts, and only then it would be easier for us to clear the interviews. Is that clear? Yes, guys.
Yes, sir.
Bore కొట్టేస్తున్నానా?
No.
No, sir.
No,
Okay.
sir.
So first మనం navigation flows identify చేస్తాం. Okay, first we'll try to identify all the navigation flows, and those navigation flows, for each of the navigation flow we will actually generate a script. Okay, see guys, this is common across all the tools, whether you are calling it as LoadRunner, JMeter, or whatever the tool. There are several different performance testing tools. Can you name a few, guys, quickly?
Neoload,
Neoload,
K6, K6.
K6,
Yes.
Silk Performer, WebLoad, JMeter. Okay,
Sosta,
several,
RPT.
Cat.
RPT, VSTS. Okay, lot of tools are there. All right, now whatever the tool is there, this particular step is common. What is the step? Identify the navigation flows, document them. All right, and whatever the tool that you choose, in that tool there would be a scripting component, and using that particular component you would actually try to do the scripting. In the LoadRunner, it is called as virtual user generator. Is that clear? Yes, guys. Now tomorrow
Yes.
when I ask you what is virtual user generator, don't tell me that it would generate virtual users. What would the virtual user generator do? It would generate the scripts. Okay, is that clear? Yes, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it would generate the scripts. So guys, what we are trying to do is, I'll just take a paint, and I would actually try to show you. Let's say that this is my browser, and this is my application. Okay, now from this particular browser, what we are trying to do, we are actually trying to send some request to this application according to the navigation flow document. Okay, there is a navigation flow document that we have actually generated, like access the ICICI Bank homepage, login, then, sorry guys, give me just a second. right? Okay. Just a second, guys. Okay, perfect. All right. Access the home page, log in, go to the accounts page, you know, go into the transfers page, select Shyam as the payee, make the transfer for 10,000 rupees. Okay. Everybody do that, please. All right. So that is a navigation flow. Now, when you have this particular navigation flow, before you actually start accessing this particular application from the browser, what you would do is you would invoke this particular first component of the load runner. What is the first component of the load runner? Yes,
VUGen.
guys.
User.
VUGen. Okay, so you would actually invoke the first component of the load runner, the VUGen. Now, what would this VUGen do? It would actually generate a
Script.
script. Okay, so it would actually generate this particular script. Now, will there be only one script that would be generated? No, there will be several navigation flows for this particular application, and for each of the navigation flow, you will actually generate a script. Okay, and the scripts you would actually have to customize them, obviously. Okay, and this customization where you have to do
VUGen.
the VUGen itself. Okay, in the VUGen itself, you would have to customize those particular scripts in order to ensure that it would actually simulate the exact same actions as a real-time user. Okay, this particular VUGen, whatever the scripts that you have generated using the VUGen should simulate the exact same actions as a real-time user. అంటే రియల్ టైమ్ యూజర్ లాగిన్ క్లిక్ చేస్తే స్క్రిప్ట్ కూడా లాగిన్ క్లిక్ చేయాలి. Okay, like that we would actually try to generate the script. Okay, clear about it, guys? Yes, guys.
Yes, sir.
Once we have customized the scripts, all the scripts, there are several navigation flows that we would have, right? So all the scripts, once we have customized that, then what we would do is all these scripts we would actually feed them to the yes, guys,
Controller.
controller. Okay, now along with all these particular scripts, what we would do is we would also feed how to run the test. Okay, how to run the test, that particular data also you would actually try to feed it to the controller. Okay, how to run the test, like how many virtual users you would have to simulate, how much time you have to run this particular test, all this information you would actually try to feed it to the controller. Got it? Yes, guys.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now what is a controller basically? What is a controller?
I think execute the test, right, sir?
I'm sorry.
Execute the test.
It is the component. Guys, by any chance did Pawan discuss all this?
No, sir.
Okay, he did not discuss all this, right?
Execute the test with multiple users and multiple scripts.
Test with multiple users and multiple scripts and give the results. Okay, now guys, does the controller actually run the test? Yes, guys, does the controller actually run the test? Does the controller actually do the actual work? For example, let's take an example. How many of you people are working over here? Already have a job working? Yes, guys?
I'm working.
Lavanya?
Yes.
You are working, right?
Yes.
Very good. So Lavanya, tell me, what are you working on? Which domain you are working on?
Manual testing.
Manual testing. How many years of experience you have?
2 years.
Can you be a bit louder?
2 years. Am I
2 years.
audible?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are audible now. 2 years. Good. So which client you are working for? Okay, let's say you are working for XXX client. Okay, now this XXX client, is he directly talking to you?
No.
Who would he actually give the work to?
They will connect with our manager. Then they will segregate, divide the task for each of us.
Exactly. Would the manager do some work?
No, they will assign us the work.
Really? Don't tell me that the manager does not do any work, guys. You know,
They
it
will
is
assign us
very
the
disheartening.
work. Yeah.
Yeah. So the manager does all this particular segregation work, convincing the client. You know, there is a different set of work for the manager, but the manager does not do the actual testing, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes, guys. Okay. So the the controller is like this manager. Okay. It takes all the work. It takes all the scripts. It takes all the instructions from the tester. But then, would that do some work? Would that do the performance testing? Would that do the load testing? Yes, guys?
No.
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 What it would do is, it would segregate all this particular work among the
Load generator.
load generators. Okay. So you might actually have multiple load generators depending upon what is the kind of load that you want to generate. All right. You might actually have multiple load generators depending upon what is the kind of load that you want to generate. So this controller would actually segregate this particular work among all this particular LGs. Okay, guys, there can be multiple LGs. Like I personally have actually worked with a set of 15 LGs. Okay, that is a maximum that I have gone. And I know my friends who have gone for much higher number. Okay, and I also have worked on a at a place wherein I've only worked with 2 LGs. Okay, completely depends upon the number of virtual users you want to simulate, the amount of load that you want to put, the complexity that you have in the scripts, the kind of protocol that you are using in the scripts. Okay, so depending upon all that, you would actually select the number of LGs. Now, what would when the test has is started, what would happen? Load generators are the ones which would actually generate this particular virtual users load. Okay, the load generators are the one which would actually generate the virtual users load. Is that clear? Yes, guys.
So
Okay.
all the load generators that you're showing, these exist in the same machine?
No, load generators means they are different machines. So controller is a different machine, load generators are different machines in the real-time environment, guys. See, in our training purpose, for our training purpose, what we would do is we would do a full installation of LoadRunner only in one machine, right? So we would have VUGen, we would have controller, load generator, analysis tool, everything installed in the same machine, right? But then when you go into an actual job, what would happen? You would actually have only the VUGen and analysis tool installed on your machine. The controller and LGs are not even there on your machines. Okay. Now, where would the controller and load generators be there? They would actually be there in a separate machines, which would actually, which usually are server class machines. Okay. Yes, guys. Is that clear?
But
Okay. So when you have actually done the test, once you have actually done the test, the load generator would simulate this particular virtual users. They would actually, send the request to the application, get the response, try to find out what is the kind of response times, pass rate, failure rate, all these particular details it would collect. And once the test is over, they would report all these metrics back to the controller. Now, what would the controller do? Yes, guys, what would the controller do? It would actually generate a results file. All right, it would actually generate this particular results file. Okay, now how would the results be there? How do you see this particular results? Okay, this virtual user number 1 for the first request has got this much response time. For the second request, it actually failed. For the third request, it actually got this much response time. Now in the second iteration, like this, it would actually have all the raw data. Now if I give you all this particular raw data, would it make any sense to you? Yes guys?
No.
No, right? So what we would do is we would actually feed all this particular data to the last and final component of the load runner, which is the
Analysis.
analysis tool. Okay, so we will feed all this particular data to the analysis tool. Now analysis tool, what it would do is it would take all this particular data, and it would actually analyze the data, and it would actually give the data in a human readable format, in an easy format. Like it would actually tell you, like, okay, this is what is the average response time. This is what is the 90 percentile response time. These are the number of successes that are there. These are the number of failures that are there. All this kind of average information, and it would actually give you a fancy graphs, very nice and easy to read graphs. Okay, it would give all this particular data in a easy readable format, and that is called as the I don't have space, but that is called as the report. Okay, that is called as the report, and final load runner report. Okay, now using this particular load runner report, you would actually be able to say, okay, my test is passed, my test is failed. I have so much response times, I have so many failures, and all this kind of information. Is this clear, guys? Yes, guys.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Everyone. Yeah. So guys, this is the load runner architecture. This is how the load runner would work. Okay. So guys, most of our time, a lot of our time, we would actually have to spend in the VUGen, because 3 years, 4 years experience people, they would spend a lot of time in doing the scripting. Okay, so we would actually spend, obviously we would have to start with VUGen, and we would spend a lot of time on the VUGen. Okay, and once we are done with that, we would actually try learn the controller, the load generators, and the analysis tool as well. Okay, but then guys, you would have to be when you are actually going in for the interviews, you would actually have to be a master of the VUGen, because that is where most of the questions would come in from. Master of the VUGen as well as the performance testing basics. Why do you think Pawan has spent more than 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks in performance testing basics? Because initially nobody would actually ask you about the tool. Okay, initially what they would do, they would actually ask about the basics. Okay, and when you have actually when they feel that you understand the basics very well, only then they would actually ask you about the tool. Okay, now if you do not talk about the basics very much, if you are not able to answer the basics very much, how much ever expert you are with the tool, they would not pick you up. Is that clear, guys? Yes, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, so please ensure that you understand the basics very properly, and then you also have very good knowledge, very good grip on the VUGen. Okay, so that is the initial part for the freshers, and 2 to 3 years experience guys, you would have to have a very good grip on VUGen. All right, and then you also have to understand how to run the tests and all those things, obviously, but then they would only see if you are actually able to do that, if you at least have an understanding of that, but they would not dig very deep. Even if you don't answer a couple of questions, that is still fine. All right, and if somebody is actually trying to put in more than 2 to 3 years of experience, then they better learn the analysis tool as well very properly. Okay, is that clear, guys? Yes, guys.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
we would give importance to each
Yes,
and
sir.
every part of this, each and every component over here. Uh, but guys, please concentrate on each and every component. Ensure that you understand very well. But if you have to, concentrate on something, if you are preparing for an interview, let's say tomorrow there is an interview, and you have got 1 year of experience or 1.5 year of experience. Now, what is the stuff that I would concentrate more on? That is VUGen and the performance testing basics. Is that clear? Yes, guys. Okay. Now let's say I have 3 years, 4 years of experience. What is the component that I would concentrate more on? I would have to concentrate on all the components along with the performance testing basics. Okay. Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So yeah, yesterday. Yeah, please go ahead, Prashant.
Prashant here.
Yeah.
Shyam, what architecture you have explained now, the whole VGen consists in a particular server, or will it be in cloud when you go into real-time environment?
As I said,
Where will be
the
having
real-time
all these
environment.
components?
Yeah, in the real-time environment, what would happen? You would have your VUGen as well as the analysis tool on your machine. Okay, on your machine. That is the performance testers machine. Whether you have a laptop, desktop, whatever, on that particular machine, you would actually have your VUGen or VUGen and analysis tool installed on your machine. Okay. Now the controller and the load generators are server class machines which are installed separately, completely different in the real-time environment. But for our learning purpose, we would do a full installation of LoadRunner on your machines, and you would actually have all the components on your machine itself.
Okay. So now let's say we are generating a load of 100 users. So for all the load generators, will they be dividing the load according to them gradually, 30, 30, 30, or how the loads will be divided?
That is what we would actually try to mention in this particular test run instructions. Okay, how to divide the load among the load generators. What are the number of users you want to run the test with? How much time you want to run the test with? What are the conditions that you want to run the test with? All this information you would actually try to give it in the instructions. Okay, how to do that? We would actually go through that. Obviously, we would actually go through that when we actually discuss the controller component. Okay. Yes, guys. Any questions? Yes, guys.
It's both for web and Windows, right? Or is it only for web, or how it is?
Okay, that's a very good question. Now, the LoadRunner, where can it be installed? It can be installed only on a Windows machines. Okay, the 3 components, the VUGen, controller, and analysis tool, can be installed only on the Windows machines. Okay, so what is the what is the system needs that you need to have for this particular installation? That is the next topic that I'm going to discuss. Okay, load generator is the only component which you would actually be able to install it on the Unix machine as well. Okay, is that clear, guys? Yes, guys. Can we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so as I said, the next topic that we are going to discuss is, apart from the LoadRunner architecture, the next component that we are going to discuss is what is the system requirements in order to have all this particular installation. All right. So if I, I just did a simple Google search, and you would actually be able to see that. And give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Yeah, I just did a simple Google search, LoadRunner 2025 Community Edition system requirements, and you would actually be able to see the, what are all the system requirements over here. Okay, so for Community Edition in 2025, what are the system requirements that you need? You'll need a 64-bit operating system, Windows 10, 11, or these kind of server operating systems. Guys, you understand what is the difference between the Windows operating system and the Windows server operating system, right? Do you understand the difference between the normal laptop and a or normal desktop and a server class machine? Yes, guys.
No, sir.
See, very simple. Server class machine would actually have much higher processing power. Okay, server class machines would actually have much higher processing power. And what is the reason for that? Because if it has to serve multiple requests at a time, then it would need that particular kind of processing power, isn't it? If for your normal usage, do we need to have such high processing power? Yes, guys.
No.
Not needed. Some people have money and so they would buy very high-end machines, but then do we really require such high-end machines? That is debatable, isn't it? So let's say you're a gamer. For in order to have some games, in order to play some games, you would actually need very good GPU, very good processing power and all that, right? So people people who are really interested in those games, they would actually buy that particular high-end GPU and CPU machines. But then let's say I'm actually doing normal work. I would hardly open an Excel sheet, this particular web. I would open the Zoom meetings, LoadRunner, and all these kind of things. So do I need such very high-end GPU power? Not needed, isn't it?
No,
See,
sir.
if I go into the Amazon and if I actually try to search for the laptop, what would happen? I can actually get a laptop from maybe 30,000 rupees until some 3 lakh rupees. Right or wrong? Yes, guys.
Yes, sir.
Right. So let's say, let's actually do that. Okay. I'm going into the Amazon.com. Sorry. And, in this Amazon, what I would do? Oh, come on. I do the load test from this, right? So my machine will usually be flagged. What is this called as?
Captcha.
Now, previously I had to enter, some letters, right? What is that called as? CAPTCHA. Okay. We'll discuss more about the CAPTCHA. Okay. See, I actually have all these particular laptops, right? Now, let's just, make it simple. Let's say I put price low to high. In that case, what is the cheapest laptop that I'm actually getting it for? Okay, I think I'm getting it for 60 rupees, but I don't think it is, a real deal. Maybe something kind
It's
of.
in dollars, sir. Dollars, sir.
Is it in dollars?
Yeah, it is in dollars.
Oh, okay. But even then, it is not. I don't think it is the right thing. Uh, okay, where is rupees? INR. Let's save changes and I've already done this. So take me back to laptops. Yeah, and I'm actually trying to. Okay, let's do the price high to low to start with. So what is the maximum? What is the biggest price that I'm actually getting? Let's say I'm actually taking this particular 64 GB. So what is the amount? What is the price? Yes, guys. What is the price over here?
10,000. 5
5
lakhs,
lakhs
10,000.
10,000. Right. Let's say I'm actually trying to buy a laptop for teaching this particular class. Do I need to spend 5 lakhs 10,000?
It's sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir. No, sir.
Not really needed, isn't it? Because it's not for teaching the load runner, that particular amount of money is not needed. That particular, this kind of configuration is not needed, isn't it? But let's say I'm actually going back and, I say price low to high. Okay. Now, if I actually go to this, this particular Chromebook, what is the amount of, what is the, this thing for Chromebook? What is the cost for this particular Chromebook? 4,400 rupees, probably refurbished or something like that, right? Can I teach the class with this particular help of Chromebook? That also is not possible, right? Yes, guys. Can I teach the class with the help of Chromebook?
Yes, sir.
What is a
No.
Chromebook?
No, sir.
What is a Chromebook? It
It's
would
like
give
a
you,
tab.
yeah, it's like a tab. It would give you only the basic features. Okay. Everything has to be stored in the cloud. There is no much hard disk as well. Okay. It would give you only very, very basic features. All right. So it is very difficult for me to teach in the Chromebook. Now I would actually have to select what exactly is needed for me. Okay. So for every performance tester, do you want to give high-end machines? What would a typical 2 years or 3 years performance tester do? He will do the scripting. At the max, he will do the analysis, isn't it? He would do the scripting and using the VUGen, and he would do the analysis. Now, what is the kind of configuration that we need for that particular scripting and analysis? Yes, guys. This is the configuration that we would need for the scripting and the analysis. Okay, so you would need at least i7 or equivalent AMD processor, 16 GB of RAM, and an SSD with sufficient storage space. Okay, so individual requirements like Microsoft Windows 10, if it is Windows 10, what is the kind of processor that you need to have, and what are the recommended versions, and what is the kind of hardware? The processor should be at least third generation or newer Intel Core i7. Okay. Now, if you have lesser than that, then the LoadRunner 2025 version might not really, it will get installed. It will, you will actually be able to install it. You would actually be able to run it, but your machine would be a little slower. Is that clear? Yes, guys.
Yes, sir.
The community edition is a full-blown edition, or will it have only certain features?
Community edition, the main thing is you would actually have the, only 50 users license. Okay, most of the features that we need would actually be there in the community edition, but the main problem is you would actually have only 50 users license. If you want to have more than 50 users license, then you need to actually buy the license using enterprise edition. Okay, there are a few more differences, but at this point of time, let's actually stick to this. As we go on in the course, we'll actually discuss a little bit more on what are the more differences between the community edition and the enterprise edition. All right, is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So you would actually be able to see that it would support all these particular versions. And what is the kind of processor? You need to have third generation i7 or newer versions. You need to have at least 16 GB RAM. You need to have a SSD drive, not HDD. You need to have a SSD. Okay, and a network connection which is sufficient to handle all the transactions. What does that mean? What does this mean? A network connection sufficient to handle all the transactions? See, let's say you are actually putting in load. Okay, in our from the controller, if you are actually trying to put a load, let's say you are putting in 50 users load. Now, 50 users, when they're actually trying to access the application, how much network bandwidth it would utilize? How much network bandwidth it would utilize? Just to tell the class over here. Now, how much network bandwidth I'm utilizing? I'm utilizing around 500 kbps. Around. Right, I'm utilizing around 500 kbps. Now, let's say I'm also trying to run a test with some 50 users. Then what would happen? Maybe I would actually, use up around 2 to 3 Mbps, right? So my network connection should be able to handle that particular load. Okay, but for just doing the scripting, you might not really need such a high network connection and all. Obviously, we all have a very good network connection, so don't worry too much about this particular network connection. So you need to have this particular network connection. Okay, clear about it, guys? So these are the other requirements for the load generator. These are the requirements, and this is what it is. Okay, any questions? And this is the load runner professional requirements. What is the kind of load runner professional requirements that you have? You are that is actually I just googled it. Okay, that is actually mentioned over here. Clear about it, guys? Yes, guys. Okay, so this is what is the requirement for our load runner, guys. Anybody have Mac? Hopefully nobody has Mac. Very good. Okay, because Mac is not supported. Okay, so uh, uh, I'm sure you all of you at least have Windows 10, right? If not Windows 11, you would have at least Windows 10, right? So depending upon this particular Windows 10 or whether you have Windows 11, what we would do is, depending upon the kind of configuration of your machine, we would install. We would actually try to give you the LoadRunner 2022 or 2024 or 2025 versions. Okay, depending upon the kind of configuration. If you have a very less configuration machine, okay, I would suggest this is the right time to actually upgrade your machine. Okay, please go ahead and upgrade your machine, and before you upgrade, please contact me or Pawan, and we would actually give you some configuration so that you can actually upgrade the machine according to that particular kind of configurations. Maybe you are upgrading the same old machine, maybe you are just adding a little bit of RAM, hard disk and all that, or maybe you are actually trying to buy a new machine. Whatever it is, we'll actually try to give you a few configurations so that you can actually stick to the at least stick to that particular configurations. You can buy a higher end machine, but you need to have at least that particular configuration so that you would actually be able to be able to work on that particular machine for at least a few years. Is that clear, guys? Yes, guys. How many of you have completed the installation of LoadRunner? Yes, guys.
No, sir, we didn't.
Please, you have to complete the installation of LoadRunner, because from tomorrow on, I would actually, do the scripting. I would actually show you how this particular scripting works and all that. And, from then on, you would actually have to start practicing. Okay, guys, trust me, if you do not practice the same day, it would be very difficult for you to catch up. There are people from whom I've heard, okay, Shyam, you know what, on the weekdays it is very difficult for me. So you know what, I'll do the practice on the weekend. No, guys, it will not be possible. It would be very difficult for you to catch up, because every class is connected. Okay, depending upon the session that you have today, tomorrow's class would depend upon this particular session. So if you have not practiced today's work, then it would be difficult for you to follow tomorrow's session. Okay, by any chance, guys, if one of you, if some of you are not able to attend a session, it's natural, right? Someday you might not feel well, someday you might have some family emergencies and all. It is natural to miss a class or two. So if you miss a class, please ensure that you have actually gone through the recording before you come to the next class. Okay, please ensure that you have gone through the recording before you come to the next class. Otherwise, it would be very difficult for you to follow the next class. Okay, if possible, please do the practice as well before you come to the next class, but at least listen to the previous day's recording. Is that clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Pawan has actually given me a very strict instruction that I have to finish the class by 9:30. So let's wrap up. Any questions before we close?
Sir,
For
I
the
have one question.
installation. Yeah, please go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sir, in my machine, I have already LoadRunner microfocus version. So do I need to go for OpenText or for practice microfocus is enough?
Which version do you have?
Microfocus.
Which version? It is like, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2022, 2024. Which version?
I'm not
If you
sure.
don't know the version, then, open this particular VUGen. Okay. Open the VUGen and over here, go into the help file.
2021.
Yeah, 2021 is, good enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Go into the about virtual user generator and over here, you would actually find the version. Okay. 2021 is good enough. Guys, if you are actually already having LoadRunner, tell me which version it is and, we'll let you know if it is okay or if it is good to upgrade. Okay, so I believe 2021 is good enough and you would actually be able to do, there will be a few UI changes, a little bit of UI would actually be a little bit different, but that is all about it. There is no major difference in the features. Okay, so we would we would actually be able to work on the a little bit older versions as well. For example, on my machine I actually have 2022 version. Okay, so my machine is a little bit old, so it does not support this particular 2025 version. So on my machine you would actually have 2022 version. Okay, but we'll borrow one of your machine and we'll actually show you what is a 2025 version as well, and we'll actually show you how the latest version looks like in the UI and what are the different things that we have to cover. Okay, is that clear, guys? And guys, I have this practice of asking anyone in my class to actually share your screen and show me the work of what you are doing. Okay, at any point of time I can actually ask you that particular question. Please share your screen and show me the work that you have done for yesterday's practice. And guys, if you are not responding to that, I would immediately remove you from the meeting. I don't want people who are sitting idle in the session. Okay, or people who just put the session on and who have just gone went away. Those kind of people we don't need in this particular session. So at any point of time I would actually ask you to share your screen and show me what you are doing, and you have to do that. Okay, and if you have not done the practice well, then it is difficult to follow the next sessions. All right, yeah, somebody else was asking some question.
Installation instruction, where do you find that, Shyam?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Installation instructions, where do you find that?
You can just Google them. That is the first thing. But the important thing is, you need to have an official email ID. Your Gmail does not work. Okay, you need to have an official email ID in order to download this particular LoadRunner software. Right, so it is difficult for everyone to have the official email ID and everything, right? So what we have done is we have downloaded this particular LoadRunner software. So we would if you are going to the institute, Pawan would actually install the LoadRunner on your machine right then and there. And if you are online, schedule a time with me or Pawan in order to complete this particular installation. Okay.
Can we connect with you over WhatsApp? Like, are you there in the group?
Yes, I'm there in the group, and you would actually be able to see my number. Only two admins, right? Myself and Pawan. So you already know Pawan's number, so the other number is mine. So you can actually give me a call on the WhatsApp. I with the same number, I'm not available to take direct calls. I'm able to take only the WhatsApp calls.
Right now, there is only one admin in that group, so I'm not
Oh.
sure.
Did he not add me as admin? Okay, let me ask Pawan to add me as admin as well. But let me actually just share my number over here. Am I still sharing my screen?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me actually share my number over here.
How long it will take to configure in our system load?
Probably an hour. I mean,
Questions
we
also?
also have to configure some other, softwares. Okay. Did Pawan give you a list of softwares that you have to configure on your machine?
Sorry, I don't have that list. I could go older hours, means videos also. Yep, I wrapped up with only 7 videos. Another 10 sessions I need to go through it.
Okay. Guys, anybody can you tell me if Pawan has already given you a list of softwares that you have that have to be configured on your machine?
Not got any.
No, sir.
Okay.
We will go in issue today and we will ask.
Okay, we'll also share that in the session. So we'll tell you what are the softwares that you have to configure, so that some of them you can download it by yourself and you can actually configure them by yourself. But a few things it is easier for us to do that. So we'll actually do that for you. Okay. Clear, guys?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Anybody has any other questions? We're already 8
yeah.
minutes delayed. Go on, please. Did somebody wanted to ask me something? Rajesh Gaud, you sent, how to download the LR. We will actually do the download and we will actually we will actually give you, because that is not uh, downloadable with the help of Gmail ID or something. You would have to need the official email ID. Okay.
Oh, sorry, I think, is it my word? Voice is audible? Sorry.
Yes, your voice is audible.
Okay. My question is like, see, we will do performance testing for only for web applications or mobile applications as well.
While learning, we
Can
will
we?
actually concentrate on only the web applications. Okay, but we will do the performance testing on web applications, mobile applications, and there are several other protocols as well. For example, let's say there is this particular Zoom meeting, right? So the Zoom also is an application which would actually communicate through the web, isn't it? So you can also do the performance testing on the Zoom application. So like this, there are several desktop applications that you would actually be able to do the performance testing on. So there are some SAP applications that you can do the performance testing on. There are several protocols that you would actually be able to do the performance testing on. But while learning, it is impossible for us to actually learn everything under the sun, right? So we will actually try to concentrate on what are the mostly used ones, which is web applications. Okay, so we'll actually try to concentrate on learning this particular performance testing on the web applications. Is that clear?
Yes.
Anybody else has any other questions, guys?
Shyam, this training will be for how many days?
Yeah, the complete training is for 3 months, 2 to 3 months, depending upon the kind of batch that we have. So we've already completed the performance testing basics, right? So today we've actually started on the load runner, right? Now tomorrow we would actually go ahead and start the scripting. Okay, so guys, we are picking up the pace, so please ensure that you attend all the sessions. All right, now the whole session is for 3 months. Now we've already completed around 3 weeks in that. Okay, so we'll quickly complete this particular VUGen, then we'll move on to the controller and load generators, and then we'll go into the analysis tool, and finally we'll actually touch base upon some of the performance engineering concepts, and we'll also touch base on Dynatrace. Okay.
Okay.
Is Dynatrace always in conjunction with LoadRunner, or is it a separate one?
Dynatrace is an APIM tool, What is an APM tool? Application performance monitoring tool.
Okay.
Okay, so it is a monitoring tool. It has absolutely no connection with the load runner. Okay, yes, you can actually ensure that you do some tagging in the load runner so that those transactions can actually show up on the Dynatrace. Okay, but Dynatrace is a application performance monitoring tool, and it is mostly used in a lot of in bigger organizations. It would be used in the performance test and the production environments mainly, in order to understand, in order to tag the performance of the applications. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, guys. If you do not have any questions, then you can start dropping off. If you have any questions, you can you can stay back and we can actually discuss on that. Let me actually stop recording.